Alright lads, I'm going to break down the 3 most underrated principles when it comes to building a decent amount of muscle, because I'm so sick and tired of hearing boys go on about these endless muscle building tips, telling you to follow all these new science-based workouts, take all these supplements, but it just doesn't work. They're just making you spend money, make mistakes, and just end up in that there cycle where you're constantly chasing something new, starting a new program every single Monday. Follow these 3 tips and just watch the gains come in. And be sure to stick to the end, because I have a wee bonus tip that's 100% not going to change your life, but it may help you build a bit more muscle. So stick to the end and let's get into the video. Principle number 1 to build muscle, and this one is so underrated in my opinion: tempo and control on all your lifts, not just some of them, all of your lifts. Most lads just walk into the gym and they just try to throw around as much weight as possible with zero form. If you're doing this here, you've one thing coming: you're guaranteed not to build any muscle. And the reason these guys have zero muscle is because they put no emphasis on the eccentric portion of the movement. They let the weight take them down instead of allowing the weight to come down. And what I really want you guys to focus on here is the eccentric, and that's where the tempo and control system comes down. The eccentric is the portion where you're stretching the muscle out. The concentric is when you're squeezing the muscle. If you have a big emphasis on the eccentric portion of the movement, focusing on slowing your reps down, looking to get about a 3-second negative on the eccentric. So when you're coming down on a bench press, count 3 seconds in your head, pause for 1 second, and then explode with the weight back up. This is going to put you in the best shop window ever for building muscle, because the time under tension is probably doubled, if not trebled, in comparison to what you were doing beforehand, which is putting your muscle in a more exposed position and leaving you with a bigger opportunity to build new muscle. So when you go into the gym the next time, focus on how much you can control the weight instead of how much you can lift, because this here is the difference between the guys that say they go to the gym and the guys who look like they go to the gym. Principle number 2 to building muscle is consistency over novelty. I see this all the time when lads come to me saying they're not making any progress, and the reason I know they're not making progress is because I follow the exact same plans that they're following now at the minute. Any new influencer that comes out has a new workout plan, has a new nutrition plan, and you jump straight on board with it because you see how they look and you want to look exactly like them. But the one thing you don't realize is you're jumping from plan to plan, month to month. You're not letting your body get used to the workouts, you're not letting your body get used to the new nutrition plans that you're on, and this here is just having a negative impact on you because you're chopping and changing way too much. Zero consistency, all the novelty, no progress. My advice here would be to pick a program that you actually enjoy doing and be consistent with it. Remember, muscle building doesn't happen overnight. It's about consistency over months, not days. So sticking to the same program, you're going to realize and see if you're making actual progress or not making progress. And this way here, you know how to track your lifts, you know how to be consistent with them. You're doing a program that you know inside and out. So you're not changing your lifts every week. You're not trying to figure out how much weight you can lift. You can be consistent with that, track your lifts, and then you're going to see progress. This is where the real gains are made, not when you're following science-based lifts that change every 2 to 3 months. Principle number 3 to build muscle is nutrition simplicity. Like your gym and training plans, everyone wants to chase the perfect nutrition plan, but that's just not realistic for 99% of us. Following those plans and following those nutrition plans is absolutely hateful because you're eating the foods that you don't actually enjoy eating. So my advice here would be to find a nutrition plan that fits your macros, fits your calorie needs, but it's filled with foods that you actually enjoy eating, sprinkled in with some foods that are going to keep you fuller for longer if you're in a fat loss phase, or if you're in a gaining phase, making sure that you're hitting your protein goal each and every day. Remember, the perfect nutrition plan is the one that works for you, not the one that's most optimal, not the one that's filled with the most greens or the most micronutrients. If it works for you, it's a good nutrition plan. Same goes for a training program. If it works for you, it's a good training program, so stick to it. Most lads fail on their nutrition side of things because they overcomplicate it. You need to take more of a simplistic approach if you want to see long-term results. Be simplistic with it and see the results. This is what you want to do. If you don't know how to calculate what your deficit should be or what your surplus should be, simply go on to calculator.net, type in all your details, and then this is going to spit out your maintenance calories. Then if you want to go into a surplus, add 200 to 300 to this. That should be enough. If you want to go into a deficit, take anywhere between 300 to 700 calories off that, depending on how aggressive you want to go with your deficit. Then in terms of tracking your macronutrients, for protein, you want to be getting anywhere between 2 to 2.2 grams per kg of ideal body weight. So say for example, you're someone who is 90 kg at the minute, would you ideally want to get down to 80 kg? Take that 80 kg, multiply it by 2 to 2.2, and that's going to spit out your protein. tip for you. I always like going a bit above on my protein, especially in a deficit, because this is going to help retain as much muscle mass as possible, as well as keeping me satiated and full. And then for your fat, how you want to track this here is you want to be getting anywhere between 0.5 to 0.8 grams of fat per kg of ideal body weight. So the same principle again, 0.8 by 80 kg, that's going to spit out exactly what you want to be getting per day in your fat intake. And then for the carbohydrates, just whatever calories are left over, I fill all those calories into my carbohydrate intake. And that's how simple it is to making sure that your nutrition is going to be on point. Then you just fill it with food groups that you actually enjoy eating, add in some micronutrients with your vegetables and your fruits, and then boom, Bob's your uncle. You have a nutrition plan that you actually enjoy and it's going to work for you. And lastly, with the bonus tip, this here, as I said, not going to change your life, but it might help you further down the line. Enjoy the process. Remember, going to the gym and eating good foods is meant to have a positive impact on your life. It's meant to make you feel good and look good, not meant to make you be stressed and be conscious of how you look. So always take everything I say with a pinch of salt. If it doesn't work for you, go and do something different. I want you to feel good and look good, and if you follow all these approaches, it could help you, it could not help you. But at the end of the day, training is meant to be fun, so pick something that you enjoy doing and be consistent with it. Pick the foods that you enjoy eating and be consistent with them, because these here are going to be the difference between you actually enjoying the process and seeing long-term results instead of hating the process and quitting and starting over again on Monday. And that is the video, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed that. That has been my 3 most underrated principles to building muscle and how I think they can help you further on going down the line to make sure that you're out of that Groundhog Day, out of that spinning wheel, and actually see lasting progress. If you have any questions on this video, just drop them in the comments below. Other than that there, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.